Hello everybody, welcome back to Keep It Real, episode number 29 now. Last episode was pretty good, made some real good progress with the potatoes, got a lot of views as well, so thank you very much. If you're kind of new to it, it's given me a few subscribers, and yeah, I think if you just get that sweet video, if you get that title right on a YouTube video, it just kind of draws a bit more attention. Maybe the wording old school potato harvest caught a bit more attention than normal. But yeah, great, amazing. I hope in the meantime as well everyone's enjoyed the roleplay story mode. Bit of a filler episode this time round. Just doing the kind of home improvements, the DIY back at the house. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I've started to make quite a bit of good usage actually. It's really good. The AI generated voices, it's scarily realistic actually. It is quite concerning, but yeah, the voice of the partner, so Jack's partner Loretta, it's all generated by AI. I just can't believe how good it sounds, which is great because I can't do a very good impression of a lady. Well, I kind of can, but I'm not going to do it now because I'll embarrass myself. Only on the weekend, maybe. Pretty straightforward episode this time around, I think, to be honest. So we know that we've got the rest of the potato field to harvest, which, oh god, I forget how bad this thing is sometimes. I forget how bad this is. People have said to me, give it its due, give it a chance, and I kind of get it, and I have given it a chance, and I have given it its dues, and I know it's probably not designed to kind of tow a trailer full of grain, but even with nothing in it, it's awful. And I don't think that's this, by the way, because I did say before, I drove one of these, I test drove one of these myself when I went to an open day at a farm supplier, and it was absolutely awesome. And, you know, I was driving up gradients like way steeper than what we're doing on this. Really good they are, but in the game, just not really been finished that well, have they? Anyway, exactly where I left it. Exactly where I left it. So we do need to finish that. I wonder if we can get the rest of that into that trailer. I'm not sure. Part of me seems to think that trailer was getting quite full. Now, just a kind of a bit of a change on the mods, I guess, or just a couple more that I've added. So, I've added a rear weight because I need a rear weight that has the trailer hitch. Quite a few people have said that. And you're absolutely right, and I do need to do it. And it's one of those things I keep thinking, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it at some point, and I just never do it. I did, by the way, I'm sure I cleared stones. I cleared this entire field of stones before we actually planted the potatoes. So these, I thought the stones only came back up when you ploughed, but obviously we haven't ploughed. So that's a bit strange, isn't it? But I definitely did this field, 100%. Yeah, so the mod that I've installed for weights is actually, potentially you've used it before actually. It's like 2 barrels, and you can actually fill them with the liquid, and they almost kind of work as a liquid transport as well. Now that's not why I'm going to use them, you know, we've got the trailer over there to do that job, but the weights themselves I think are 1.5 ton, and if you fill it with water or any kind of liquid it makes them 2.5 tons, so that's pretty good. I think having the ability to change the weight, and should we get really desperate, having kind of an extra water carrier, I think that would be really, really good. So we're going to head to the shop at some point and buy that. We might need to buy that to tow this trailer, maybe, but for definite, if we try and aim to end this episode selling the rest of the wood, we're going to 100% need it to get that trailer moved with the wood in it. So we have got to go to the shop at least once today. Talking about the shop, the second mod I've activated is actually Bendercat's mod. So it's the one you can get through Mod Hub. I don't know if it's crossplay, I'm not going to lie, but it's a vehicle kind of shop sale customizer or something like that it's called. But Bendercat's actually adapted it ever so slightly as well, so I really do appreciate that. I think he's done it for his own benefit as well, not just for me especially, but it's a great thing because what he's done is he's tweaked it a little bit. So instead of it always loading up the expensive brand new stuff in the shop, he's done something to it where it kind of randomizes more of the smaller, cheaper equipment, which is kind of what we want. So Yeah, whatever he's done to adapt it is actually suits the series perfectly. But what it does do is it loads up, I don't know how many, but you know, you normally get 2 or 3 things in the shop, don't you? And I think it kind of doubles that. So you've always got a decent selection, which I think is realistic. I honestly do think is realistic. So I'm looking forward to that. When we get to the shop, having a look just to see what's in there. I would be happy just to see more than like 2 or 3 things in the shop anyway. That would be a good start, wouldn't it? But for now, I don't normally like to do it, but this is going to be a real speedy one. I'm just going to jump straight in the tractor, get the rest of this field harvested. Yeah, shouldn't take too long. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, so I think I might, obviously I haven't edited it yet, but I think I might have skipped that, maybe. Now, this man has done a great job, but it's struggling. I can't even turn with it. When you've got a full load of potatoes in that harvester, it doesn't really want to move. And I love this mod. But we are very slowly but surely outgrowing it, I think. Right, anyway, let's position ourselves. I think we need to load up nearer the front of the trailer. Let's get that opened up. Hopefully, we're in the right place. Another full load, by the way. Oh dear. Okay. The trailer is full. The trailer is full. Let's lower that down again. What did it do? It put 19 litres of potatoes into the trailer. Brilliant. Right, what I am going to do very quickly. There's a last couple of bits over here. I might as well pick everything up, make as much as we can, because this is just going to be peanuts anyway. But I might as well do what we can. Now you can notice, by the way, if you look in this view, for example here, and I don't know how good the YouTube upload is going to be, but see where my wheel slip has kind of destroyed the foliage, you can still see those little tufts there in the ground. There's a couple over there as well. You can still get them. So if I just activate this potato harvester remote, turn that on. There we go. Right, so yeah, so if we, even though it looks like that's already been harvested, if you run over those little tufts, you do gain some more potatoes. There you go. You can see not much. I mean, that's probably like 2 litres of potatoes. But when you need to get what you can, makes sense. So yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to know, I guess, that even the tyre slip, even the crop destruction on potatoes doesn't lose the potatoes. It's something I said right at the very beginning of harvesting that didn't really make sense. And it does look like it doesn't work like that anyway. Let's pick up these last few here. Right, okay. We're out of the field. We do still have pretty much a full load in here that we need to get rid of, but that trailer is absolutely filled to the brim. So we're just going to have to wait, aren't we? Now, which way does this tip again? It tips that way, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to park this. One thing I'm realising now, for little jobs like this, tasks like this, our yard is not big enough. I need a big open turning space, don't I? It's a bit too tight as it stands. Right, anyway, let's disconnect the hoses. PTO. Harvester. Good. Right, this will be the test, Mr. Man. Will it pull that trailer? I might have to go to the shop and get that weight. Not too sure. If it doesn't pull the trailer, it's just going to have to live there until we've got money to get something that will pull the trailer, I guess. I have been looking at comments actually, and I kind of get it. So I've said before, and I've said a couple of times, I didn't want to lease the big stuff. So I didn't want to go straight in and lease like a tractor, a brand new tractor, for example, because then straight away the series will change, won't it? But actually, some of the comments have suggested, which do make sense, you could lease them, because I'm running the lease to own mod. Actually, it's almost more like a finance agreement, and I'm taking out a HP on the actual tractor, and eventually, you know, as a rule, I will have to buy it. So that could be a way around the whole loan situation, because I mean we might be able to take out a bit more of a loan now, to be honest. I'm not sure, I haven't checked, but I guess I could do that, couldn't I? And that could be the unlock to getting the Fiat Agri. Now, by the way, just while I'm talking, I mean you've probably just noticed this, but this trailer has got 8,000 litres of potatoes, so it's pretty damn heavy, yeah? The Mahindra wouldn't tow the trailer barely without anything in it. This tractor, it's like it's not even attached. It's just fine. Did you see how quick it got up that field? Honestly, this man, I've said it a few times, and I've said, you know, you guys do use it as well. It is incredible. It's such a good mod. It is third party, so unfortunately it isn't a console mod. I don't believe there is a console version of it either, but it's fantastic. I reckon, you know, the mod maker could submit it to Giants, because MAN is a licensed brand. You know, it's a brand that they already have agreement to do. There's lots of MAN vehicles already in it, so whoever the mod creator is really should submit this. You know, I'll see. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll see if I can find out who it was, and I'll send them a message and just give them some feedback about just how great their mod is. Wouldn't it be brilliant if they uploaded that? Right. Anyway, where am I selling these? Fry's factory is the best value currently, not by much. There's 3 places, but I would like to know where the Fry's factory is, because eventually that may be something we look into buying. I don't know if this series would ever. Oh, that's the place that we were cutting through to sell the wood. Oh, well, that's convenient. That works quite well. Yeah, they did us a favour. Let us go through the roadway. So now we'll sell them a load of potatoes to make up for it. Honestly, this man, it's like it's not even towing any weight. Full speed, straight away. It's got so much power. I don't know, it's like 80 horsepower, I think. The area where it's lacking at the minute is grip, and there isn't really a huge amount of customizing you can do with the wheels. So that's our problem. It's the whole grip situation, I think. And I was actually thinking, you know, the new plot of land, which is our next priority, by the way, because of the mod, the destroy crops when slip, I think that's what it's called, or something like that. It will destroy the grass, and the grass won't grow back. So if we're using this and it struggles to tow a mower, and it skids around and slides around the grass a lot, we're going to have to replant that grass every time. That is going to be a bit of a pain. And that isn't something I actually thought about initially, but yeah, we could end up with half the field kind of scraped up off the ground because of the man's rooted it all up. So yeah, we're getting closer to a new tractor, definitely. Don't know what I just bounced over then. Okay, right, well, let's just sell the lot. It's not going to be very much money at all. In fact, is this the best time to sell it? Is it the best time to sell it? To be honest, it's not, is it? It's not. But, I don't know. Keeping it real, I've got nowhere to store these. Oh, I like this trailer. That's quite a cool animation. So don't just like pull the slat of wood out from the bottom or something. I like it. Yeah, I've got nowhere to store potatoes, so I can't just leave them piled in a trolley or trailer all compacted up like that. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? How cool is that? Right, £2,041 and £42 environmental score. So, is potatoes worth it? That was a question I was asking myself in the last episode. Are the potatoes really worth it? Yes, they are. because we've just got 10,000 litres of potatoes from that tiny plot of land, and I mean tiny. If I had it on a bigger plot of land and it was a little bit more square, maybe not on the steepest hill in the map, you could have done a field 3 times the size of my field, twice as fast, no doubt. So yeah, it would be worth it. Okay, right, we're nearly back now. While we're on a roll, I'll just empty out the potato harvester and just sell those last few potatoes as well. How's best to do this? This is why you need 2 tractors. Yeah, what a pain. Right, I'm going to jump out and just leave that there. I think it's going to be easier to maneuver the harvester, to be honest, rather than that dolly. Yeah, this is why you need 2 tractors, I think, for stuff like this. But back in the day, back in the good old days, you had to deal with what you got, I suppose. Right. Good job. Hopefully that will unload. Okay, well, it's connected. Let's just take this back to the shop. The whole thing's emptied out. The main reason I'm taking it back first is because I cannot turn that trailer around. I'm not even going to try. I know what's going to happen. So at least with this out of the way, I've got a small bit of yard so I can do a 360 turn. It's a little bit better. Now I'm quite excited actually. After this, we'll have a check in the shop in a minute actually. And see what's in used. Because it would be interesting to see how this mod works. Because I've never used it. But I'm kind of hoping there's going to be 6 or 7 things to buy in the shop rather than just the 2 or 3. And to be honest, the 2 or 3 that keep spawning are always pretty much the same sort of thing, aren't they? Really expensive harvesters or just stuff that doesn't suit the series. So yeah, I'm hoping that's kind of fixed it a little bit. And if it has, thank you very much, Bendercat. And thanks in advance either way, because I know it's going to be a decent mod. Once we've done that, we'll buy this weight now as well. I won't fill it with water today because the weight itself is still 1.5 tons or 1,500 kilograms even before you fill it. Oh, come on. What are you waiting for? Honestly. That's quite, he's going that way. Good. Yeah, so I'm not gonna... God, that was hard work. I'm not going to fill it today. I don't think I need to, but I'm hoping the 1.5 tons will be enough to get that log trailer done, because you know, potentially that's, I don't know, that's another £10,000 on that trailer. I think if I'm honest, I loaded that trailer out even more than the last one I sold. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not too sure. Now what I will do, because at this very particular point I've just remembered and I'll forget again in 3 seconds. Obviously, I turned crop destruction off because of my concerns with potatoes. Let's turn it straight back on again before I forget, because that is quite a big part of the game to have turned off, I think. Now, obviously, you don't actually need to bring anything back to the shop to return it. You just return it in the menu, and all I'm going to do is return it in the menu, but at least we're kind of simulating some sort of real life scenario. Now while we're here, how many can we get? 3, 4, 5. Oh, that might be the best I've done so far. And that one's done a full 180 flip, isn't it? It's another right way up. There you go, 5 cones. Yeah, got a bit of a competition ongoing at the minute in the comments. I'm pretty sure it's Count and he's only managed 2 so far, so yeah, beat that, 5. That's how you do it. Right, anyway, jump in the menu. So let's go from this way, potato technology. We're not going to buy this, we're going to just return it. Because I'm not doing potatoes, not for a minute. I will probably again, potentially. But for a minute, no. Get rid of that. Now, I did say I wanted to have a good sort out, but to be honest with you, there's nothing there that I want to get rid of. There really isn't. The baler and the bale loader. Not sure. I still need that to make hay bales, really, because we're still going to need hay. There's still an incentive to make TMR at some point, so they're quite cheap anyway. I feel the longer we have it, the cheaper it will be to buy anyway. So either way, I think it's worth keeping that. That obviously goes with it. The stone picker. Now, I am going to return that, but I've got to bring it back. But I'm not going to return it. I'm going to then release the exact same thing, but with the front loader attacher rather than the 3-point linkage. Just because, we've now got the front loader and it would be a lot easier. And we'll need to do that in a minute, by the way. Because that's the next job, really. Getting rid of the stones. Now, while we're here, though, let's jump into weights. And this is the one I was talking about. So it has got the hitch there on the front, you can see. So I can still connect a trailer and whatnot to that. But it is fillable. Now, I don't know, does the colour really matter? And that colour doesn't really suit the series, does it? It needs to be like a, I don't know, like an off brown or something like that, really. It's going to cost £50, but that's fine. Okay, I'm going to go with like an off red sort of colour. Yeah, let's go with that. I think red barrels are probably the most common. So it's only £800. I'm going to buy that because we need that. That's going to be a really good addition to the farm. £800. Boom. Regardless, we had to get that. Now, let's have a look in used. So, oh yeah, it's definitely more. As it stands, we haven't needed to use a towing chain. But based on my driving, we probably will do it at some point. Oh, that's cool. It even puts the pallets in the shop now. That is cool. That's really cool. So you could end up stocking up on stuff that you don't really need just because it's cheap. I mean, do I need mineral feed? I'm kind of wondering now. We are going to be doing silage, but I can't imagine we'll be having good enough equipment to... Oh, there's also silage additive there as well. That's really cool. Not as cool as that. We need something like that. Probably in about 3 episodes' time. But that's £1,705, man. We need that. We just need that. What are the options? I'm not fussed about wheels. Wool type. Makes no difference whatsoever. Quite like that better, I think. Roller position. I have no idea what that does, so forget that. Covers. No, it looks better. It looks more old school without them, doesn't it? Lubricating grease. Do you know, I activated this mod. I've never actually had to use it at all. So we'll leave it on and we'll just find out how you use it when we get to it, I guess, won't we? Main colour. Does it cost any money? No, it doesn't. Let's go with that. I'm just hazarding a guess. That's probably something quite similar to the man. Right, okay. I'm just going to buy that. There's no doubt about that. £1,705. Pretty much just paid for by the potatoes. That is a good buy. No way. So has that just appeared after I bought the last thing, or was that just, did I not scroll over far enough? That's exactly what I've been saying I want to get. Not quite the engine model I want to get, so let's go 180. Yeah, so that's the one that I want. I've used that before. Not this exact model, but I've used for the Agri, especially in FS19. But wow. So it's the 160 version. That's still 80 horsepower, more than what we've got. Tyres jumps the price up a lot, so we'll leave that. It doesn't make a lot of difference, but I like that just for immersion. I don't think you can even hear the tyre sound, to be honest, by the time it gets loaded up. Mechanical back arms, too much money. Exhaust, I quite like that exhaust. Fenders. Oh, I always remember these had millions of options. Hang on. No fenders, all fenders, £250. Right, no fenders, we don't need it. It's already got a beacon, which is good. A weight holder, I'm pretty sure you can change that to, yeah, front hydraulics. £5,000, is that? Sort of see it in the strange kind of writing. Yeah, let's put it up £5 grand. Well, that's good to know for the future. I £16,175. I wasn't expecting to buy that this episode. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really expecting to spend much money at all this episode. In fact, I thought this would be an episode where I start saving money, but I cannot pass it up. I can't pass it up. Let's do it. 16,175. There's still more as well. Right, I'm getting carried away. Anyone who's played online with me and kind of knows me, knows my shopping habits when it comes to the used store are pretty bad. But anyway, do you know what? I've had some good deals in my time. But I think a loading wagon that cheap and a 160 horsepower Fiat Agri all for less than 20 grand is probably the best deals I've ever made in this game. Now, I don't think the mod has been set up purposely to do that, because nobody knew I was thinking about getting a loading wagon, so I don't think Bendercat has the ability to change that. I think that must just be pure coincidence. But honestly, thank you, mate, because this mod is awesome. I love it. Doesn't that look like a beast as well? Look at the size of those tyres. Absolute machine. Right. I don't know what to do now. I think let's go get the man. Go for a nice jog. Connect the man up to the loading wagon. Be interesting to see if that kind of looks suitable size-wise. I would have thought it would be. That should be able to do that job, I would have thought. And then we'll take those weights straight to the new plot of land. Grab that trailer full of logs. Amazing. One thing I didn't notice was this didn't have the option to have a front loader attached to it. I don't think I'd just seen that in the menu anyway. And I could have sworn the other version, the older version of it, did have that option. So we have got it really cheap, but we are missing out on that benefit. But actually, it's just a perfect excuse to keep hold of the man, isn't it? It's more than capable of pretty much anything, this thing. Such an impressive mod. So we'll keep that with the front loader. This will be our front loader tractor. And this will be the kind of the humper and grunter. Right, so what I'm going to do, we'll leave this here for a minute. I'm quite excited to drive my new Agri. Now, I have seen Keith's got one of these in George's Scruff series, sorry. So I have seen the one that Scruff drives, which is Keith's, and it does sound awesome. Now, Scruff's pretty good at editing mods and things, so it could well be it sounds awesome because he's made it sound awesome. Or it's just an awesome sounding tractor. Yeah, that sounds awesome, doesn't it? It's very loud. I will definitely have to adjust the sound settings by the time I edit it and release this. I would have to. Do you know, coincidentally, it's almost the same colour. And I didn't even know I was getting that. Look at how wide those tyres are. Honestly. Right. Connect that up. That fits perfectly. To be honest, this Agri might not even need it. Oh, I'm really happy with this. Such a wow detailed mod as well, isn't it? Really good. And I want to say that you can adjust the, yeah, you can open the windows or let a bit of fresh air in. Not too much though, be a bit cold. Right, anyway, stop mucking around. Oh, listen to that gear change. I'm going to turn the volume up a little just so you can hear it. My back in the day, it wasn't even that long ago, over my time I've had 5 Subaru Imprezas, and 2 of them had that sound. Do you know what? It's been a little while since I've had it. I can't even remember what they call it. Turbo chatter, I think is what they call it. But it's chatter. Oh, this tractor does sound awesome. It sounds so awesome, I'm going the complete wrong way. I love it. Here we are. Here we are. I've not been back here for an episode or 2 actually. This does look a big field. Do you know, after spending so much time, can I climb up onto my weights? Oh, there we go. Typical, right in the trees. After spending so much time just harvesting that poxy little potato field, this feels even bigger again now that I've come back. It's pretty damn big. That exhaust is getting warm. I need to get off. Right. I don't know how I'm going to connect this. We'll try. We'll try. Hopefully it'll work. Now before it goes too crazy, let's put a couple of straps on. And we'll see what happens. Can I connect it? Nope. Because this trailer uses a different kind of tow hitch. Of course it does. And really, I probably would have checked that. If I was on it, that would have been a good idea. But I wasn't. Disconnect it. Let's just hope then the sheer weight of this new machine, an absolute beast. I think the sheer weight of the tyres alone will probably counterbalance the weight of that trailer, to be honest with you. Fingers crossed anyway. I really didn't realise it had like a bull hitch type connector. Right, looks like we can push it down. Now that isn't a bull hitch type connector, by the way, and it connected to it, so it should have connected to that over there. Anyway, no issues there at all, is there? No issues at all. Wow. This is. I was going to start. You know, this episode title is going to be like Potato Harvesting Part 2 or something boring like that. But now I don't know what to call this video. Okay, wow, that was a dream. Absolute dream. That was actually wonderful. I will just stop here. Where's the best place to go for wood? Where is the wood? It's here somewhere. There it is. So, okay, wood at the minute. Best place is biomass heating plant again. As always. Normally I'd prefer going here because the tractor can't cope. But actually, there's no problem anymore. But I am going to have to manoeuvre it a bit differently, aren't I? Because this isn't as small as the little man. Oh my god. That trailer looks pathetic now as well. Doesn't it? Honestly, this trailer looked absolutely huge on the man. Now it just looks ridiculous. It doesn't even look like that much wood on there at all, if I'm honest. Right. What do we think it's going to be? £10,716 and 222 environmental score reward. Wow. Wow. So we're not far off what we started with, and we've got so much to show for it. So much to show for it this episode. This has been great so far. This has been a fantastic episode. Right, I reckon let's get straight on it. We'll take the stone picker back to the shop and just get the attachment changed over so that we can actually connect it to the front loader. We'll whip up all of those stones nice and quick from that new field. We can more than likely just sell them straight away on the way back to the yard at that factory, the same as last time. make a couple £100 maybe. And I think finish off with the layer of lime just spread evenly over the field. I mean, potentially I probably need to jump into the menu and just buy the field data. Actually, I am surprised that we still got a bit of an environmental score from those trees, if I'm honest, because now that we've harvested the potatoes, a minute ago when I was there, the land, the ground was showing bad on both sections. So I would have thought that would have dropped the environmental score, if I'm honest. But anyway, right, let's take this trailer back. I do feel, by the way, I'm going to take maybe one out of every third tree down. I want to leave the trees because I think they look nice, and I don't like kind of plain open. But you know what, in the top corner I've just realised this whole entire episode has been on 0.5. Don't know why that is, maybe because I changed it when I was playing online. Right, I'll bump it to times 15 just to try and catch yourself back up, I think. Yeah, that's typical as well actually. I bet one of those two great demands is probably for potatoes. That would literally be typical. Yeah, anyway, I think one in every 3 trees, I think. Yeah, just so we still got a nice surround, but actually there's a bit more money there. While the front loader's down here, while the trailer's hanging around. Not sure. But either way, I'm going to leave this trailer here for a minute. I don't like to leave equipment outside, but actually it's not ours, is it? Don't really matter. Okay, just taking a stroll on back to the yard, because we need to go back to the shop and get the man. And it was either walk to the shop from the new field, or walk to here, get the Mahindra, and then drive to the shop, and probably just sell it. I think we can just sell it. We've replaced it with a... We've got 2 vehicles now. Now, that Fiat Agri I don't think is the fastest of the Fiat Agris. Let's jump over this little lake. Yeah, it's not the fastest of the Fiat Agris, I do not believe. But the fact that we have 2 vehicles now, and this isn't 60 miles per hour fast anyway, is it? No way is it. Part of me wants to see if it can do one last little drop. Shall I try it? See how it gets on. We'll give it a go, see what happens. Might do a good job, you never know. No, it didn't, is the answer to that, by the way. Actually made it worse, so we've now abandoned the trailer nearly parked inside of our duck shelter. And there you go. Right, let's head back to the shop. Ducks, by the way, I've just mentioned ducks. I'm going to have a look in a minute and see what the capacity is. I'm sure it had quite a high capacity. I thought maybe it had a 40 capacity. There's no way I've got to 40. But maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's only got like a 15 capacity, and that's why I'm losing them. Maybe it's my own fault. Genuinely though, I think it is. The corn says 50%. You feed them corn, the health goes to 0%. So is that saying you need 50% lettuce and 50% corn for it to work at all? Don't know. I'm not sure. It's a bit confusing, if I'm honest with you. One thing I do regret is just putting corn in there in the first place. But I suppose that's all linked to the maize plus days. I can't help that now. Anyway, let's go get rid of this. Okay, this is it. This is it. Has it done us well? You know, I don't regret buying it because I've given it a good go. And actually, to be fair, we needed the extra money from the pickup anyway, didn't we? So, actually, you could say the Mahindra has helped us progress to where we are now, just on the basis that it allowed us to sell the pickup truck to make some extra money. So, yeah, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. But I'm not going to lie, good riddance to it at the same time. 4,573. What did we pay for it? We've lost some money on that. Don't know. I'll have to watch it back. I probably won't watch it back. It was 5 something though, I reckon. So let's just sell it. We're not going to repair it. We're not going to repaint it. Because really, keeping it real, You wouldn't do that instantly, would you? I'd have to leave it here for like a week before I sold it if I did that realistically. Okay. Amazing. So it's all worked out quite well. We'll jump on the man. We're going to go back to the new plot of land. This is a piece of equipment that's needed for that new plot of land. So that doesn't for a minute need to go back to the yard. And the front loader is at the new plot of land anyway. So either way, works out quite well. Now if I'm not going to be taking this stuff back to the yard, which I seem to have kind of got into the habit of leaving stuff at the second plot, I'd need to buy a shed. I just have to buy a shed. I need to kind of follow the basics, I think, really. Any equipment that's expensive, you just would not leave out in the rain. In all fairness, it doesn't really rain much here in France. Not so far, but we are in summer. By the time it starts getting colder, autumn comes, these pieces of equipment, they just got to be under shelter. I can't keep just literally it's just started raining. I didn't even plan that. Oh no, it's just started raining, honestly. Oh, it's even thunderstorms as well. Brilliant. Wow, everything I just said, completely ignore. Let's pick up the front loader and we'll take this forage wagon, or whatever we're going to call it, this old-fashioned grass picker upper, probably not very efficient piece of metal. We'll take it back to the yard, we'll pop it in one of the sheds. Let's stick with the realistic rules on this one now. I can't believe it just started raining as soon as I said that. Okay, right, let's get connected up. I have to do this relatively quick because the mod is on now. I think a few minutes after the rain has started, the mod takes effect into the fields. So in a minute, we will actually potentially get stuck in the field. Right, let's do this nice and quick. Looks a bit ridiculous, but now it looks okay. Right, leave the plough there for a minute. Just make sure there's no cars coming. Log wrap, I am going to keep that, but again, we'll follow the same thing. We'll put it under shelter. This is all great, by the way. I'll have to check the cows in a minute, make sure they got food. But we've got pallets of apples ready to go. I don't even know how many now. Maybe even 6 pallets of apples ready to go. We must have 2,000 litres of milk now ready to go. It's just all of this kind of passive stuff, which at the very beginning we were absolutely desperate for. All of a sudden, it's just building up. It's just there in the background. And we are making some real progress now. I mean, honestly, I think this episode, unintentionally, I didn't think there'd be a lot more than finishing some harvesting going on. But this episode has turned into the kind of the changing point, I think. Changing point of the whole series. Right, anyway, here we are now. This loading wagon is going to be absolutely huge compared to our shed, I imagine. So if I position it properly, I might be able to put it in the newest of the two at an angle. Yeah, that'll work. I might run over the grain a little bit, but as long as it's just inside like that, I'm happy with that. Disconnect that. Brilliant. And actually, yeah, that's fine. Now, I need to put the log grab somewhere. I wonder if I can put it in over. Let's jump into this view maybe. Can I put it in over the top of that? I reckon so. Oh, detach the hoses. There we go. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? And then, yeah, I'm assuming that this isn't going to connect. No. So ideally, I wanted that to connect. So that's why we're going to change it, by the way. So I'll turn around, reverse him. It's one for the 3-point linkage. It's just an absolute nightmare to kind of do all of that in reverse. This tractor's not the fastest thing in reverse anyway. Right. What am I doing? Okay. Brilliant. Right, let's take it back to the shop. And we'll get one with the front loader attacher instead. I'm not going to lie though. Although it's stopped raining now, if the field is too muddy, we won't be able to pick up those stones this episode. Because the man just won't have any grip. Right, let's do this real quick. I'll catch you back up when we're at the shop. Okay, right, disconnect that. And we'll jump into the shop menu right now. So, return the stone picker. Yes. And go back in and... not under front loader tools, is it? It's actually under stone pickers, I want to say. Stone picker. Right, that's the one we had last time. 0.6 meters square, 0.8 meters square, 0.9 meters square. I'd like to get a bigger one. Just makes sense. But I think any bigger than maybe the middle one, yeah, would be too much. Yeah, I think it's just going to have to be that one we go for. So, I'm assuming universal interface. It's not a telehandler. I'm hoping that'll do it. It charges us for the colour. Right, let's leave it the same. How much is this going to be? 759. I'm just going to release it again, you know, because that's what we were doing anyway. The long-term goal was to keep the original one and eventually buy it. But if it wasn't for the fact that it's the wrong type of connector, then we wouldn't have even taken it back. So, back on lease. Doesn't cost much anyway. You never know as well with this crazy new shop mod that we've got installed. Wow, we might be able to buy a proper stone picking machine at this rate. What is that there? Oh, that's cool. It just came up. I can refuel from here. I don't even have to go to the fuel station, even though it's closer. Well, that's cool there. That was hidden away. Pump up the tyres as well. Anyway. Okay, we are here. The main objective, do it in this view, is to get to the weight, which is located right in the middle of the field. Because we're going to need that. And we are going to keep that weight as well for this man. So we'll make our way over. We'll pick up stones on the way. But if it gets too heavy, we'll have to stop. Do you know what? It looks a lot worse than what it is though, doesn't it? I am, by the way, I've done loads and loads of searching, and there isn't really a suitable stump grinder, not really for what I want. Now, again, because I'm making my own rules up, aren't I, really? Going with rules that basically seem like real. If it was me and I was struggling, really struggling to get these stumps out and find a way to do it, I would just grab a shovel, dig it out a little bit and just saw it off. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make them disappear. Yeah, realistically, I don't think it's unrealistic to do that. Just going to make them disappear. Maybe I charge myself a bit of money for each one. Something like £50 per stump or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. Leasing out, I mean, the best value stump grinders all seem to be for a skid steer. I'm spending a heck of a lot of money leasing out a skid steer just to grind some stumps. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Right, I'll tell you what, this stone collector is actually perfect, you know, for this tractor. I want to try and get them all. Because I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe with grass, because you don't really tend to replant grass, if you don't get rid of the stones before, you can't go along and re-pick them up again once the grass is planted. They're kind of, they're stuck there forever, I think. So I need to do a good job of this, really. Get rid of as many as I can.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Okay, field done, stones collected, hardly anything, 326 litres, barely even worth it, is it really? But anyway, so we're going to go straight back to the yard now. I just want to pick up those few random little stones that were kind of dotted around that field, which I don't know where they came from, to be honest. I might have missed one. I think I did miss one little section of stones, but there's no way I missed as many as what's there now. So I'm just going to scoop them all up. Again, similar kind of thing really. That's all going to be landscaped at some point. There probably won't be another crop planted in that field. So if I don't remove the stones and I landscape over them, again it seems to lock the stones in place. They will be there forever. So, oh, the fuel light's just flashed up as well. Look. Brilliant. Maybe I should have put some fuel in while I was at the shop a minute ago. I didn't think of that. Okay, here we are back here now. So we'll just get straight into that field. There's hardly anything, but there was just a few there. I'm just going to pick them up. We'll take this straight over then and sell it. Let's do it in this view, shall we? Yeah, I've installed a mod, by the way. Now, see the ground? The bit that the back wheels on now are actually the landscaped bit of land. But if you've got wheel slip going on, it actually continues it around the outside. See that there? And it is a mod. Or I think it might be part of field slip mod, but you can select it in the settings where it will damage. See how much I've damaged this slip? Doesn't that just create more of a natural kind of roadway into a farm? I just think that looks awesome, by the way. I just think that really does look good. These, to be honest, these are the sort of things that really the game should just have in it. Don't you think? They should just be standard. It's interesting. It won't even let me pick up these stones. I wonder why that is. Maybe I can't pick them up after all. Oh no, I can pick them up. Okay. Bizarre. Very strange. Good. Okay. Well, it's picking them up. And the amount of stones is going up as well. So I'll just do this a minute. I think, to be honest, we must be pretty much there. What I'm going to do, I've got a little bit more time this week, so I'm going to record a few episodes in a batch. I'm not going to edit them. What I tend to do is if I'm playing quite late and I get tired, I will kind of stop 3/4 of the way into the episode and go to bed. The next day then I'll edit it, and then I'll know, actually, if I do about 10 more minutes of recording, it'll be a decent length episode. And that's how I kind of get the consistency. But for these episodes, I have no idea. I ain't got a clue. Because I'm just going to keep recording. I'm going to record a few, and then again, once I'm tired, I can stop, and then I can just kind of have a bit of an editing session, probably edit 4 or 5 episodes in one go. That's my plan. That's the aim. Okay, very bizarre. Doesn't seem to want to pick up this little section of stones. Just go straight over it. I don't know why. I'm not too sure at all. That is a bit bizarre. Anyway, that might be the one section that I missed last time. I know I'm sure I did miss one section. Let's try and get out of here without damaging our path anymore. And only be more money to fix. Right, good. Let's just get rid of these now. Tip that up before it all falls out. And then, yeah, I think we're pretty much there, you know. Next episode. Oh, God, that was nearly embarrassing. Next episode, I'll count up the logs in the ground, the stumps, and we'll work out a rough cost, and I'll just get rid of them. I can just click a button in Easy Deb and make them disappear. I think that's fair to do at this point. Now, what did I do last time? Did I just tip them out here? £200. £200. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see the money go up. But that's fine. 200 quid. I mean, that's paid for the leasing of the bucket for the next 5 months, isn't it? Definitely. Right, park this all back up. And do you know what? Tonight, I think we'll just walk back home. And then get straight into the Fiat Agri. We've got a Fiat Agri. I think I've been talking about that for 4 or 5 episodes. Maybe longer. I mean, episode 29 now. We're only just really starting to make the purchases we need to make to run a farm. Right. Wonderful. Well, that's it for now. What a day of purchases. That thing is going to be incredible. We absolutely need that. And yeah, everything else is pretty good, I think. So I'll end it with an overlooking view of one of the last times you'll ever see this field. This will be a cow barn, and eventually our home. So until the next episode anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thanks in advance for all those loads and loads of comments I know I'm going to get. And yeah, cheers and gone.